Hello Aquarius and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, let's jump on in. We're going to look at overall energy through Oracle cards first, and this is my Intuitive Life Coaching deck, which I absolutely love. And then we'll look at overall energy for the overall theme of the reading with Moonology, the Moonology deck here, and then we'll dive deeper into the reading with Tarot as we progress. So let's start with looking at your recent past. What has Aquarius been dealing with? Boundaries. You are learning the gentle art of setting boundaries and saying no. Mirror. Everything that is happening in your external life is a reflection of your inner world. And then you have this trust and forgiveness card, but I feel like there's a seeker of truth. You can feel the hidden truth behind your circumstances. So I feel like you've been in this energy of feeling as if things are not aligning with your worth and your value, whether that's relationships or a job. I feel like there's a lot of frustration in this energy about what you've been receiving. And I think that frustration is probably very, very understandable, just kind of depending on what your circumstances are. But I also feel that there's something that these situations are trying to bring to the surface for you and trying to help you see that, because everything in our life isn't a reflection of our worth. It's a reflection of what we've been taught our worth is. You know, our relationships are not a reflection of how lovable we are, but how lovable we've been taught to believe that we are, things of that nature. So I feel like you've been in this energy of not having the things that you deserve and desire. And I feel like this is trying to bring to the surface not necessarily what you it's not trying to show you like that you're deserving of less or worthy of less, but to show you kind of the spots within your shadow that you believe are maybe unworthy and undeserving and not good enough for the things that you desire. But let's look at this deeper, because I'm not saying that it's your fault that you've been struggling, okay? That's definitely not what I'm saying. But I do feel that there's some deeper truths to the things that you've been experiencing that are trying to come to the surface. All right, current energy for Aquarius. Healing with nature, and then you have education. Education is an important part of your soul's development at this time, and then your soul yearns to be outside in nature around healing waters, flowers, and trees. So it feels like there's some sort of situation, okay, that you're pretty fed up with, but it almost feels that there's this energy of being trapped in it. And I feel like, because there's a lot of things in the world that I feel like a lot of cycles that are being addressed right now that are kind of like coming to a close and opening up. And it's almost like this is about opening yourself up to some sort of new beginning of some sort. And like with this education card, it's almost like, I don't know if it's like going back to school so you can have a job that you want, or like educating you on some sort of like new skill or new knowledge or something to help move you forward towards something better. Because I feel like you've been trapped because you feel that there's no other option, but there are other options. It just might require you to be open to things being a little bit different and to opening up to what might be required of you to be prepared for these things. And then this parting ways, it says it may be time to move on from this person or situation. It kind of feels like, again, there's something that you're really fed up with, something that I feel like does not align with your worth and what you're deserving of, but again, is mirroring what you believe that you're worthy and deserving of. So this whole experience is trying to open you up to more, to something. It's like preparing you for something that you're meant to do or meant to be a part of in some way. So I feel like you're in a period right now of learning a lot in some way, and it's whatever you're learning is preparing you for where you're headed. So that's the next question, is where is Aquarius headed moving forward? Oop. This deck is so large and there's so many cards and they really stick together that it can be really hard to shuffle. But one thing about it is when the cards come out, they really do come out. Awakening. So you're no longer letting people dictate you and run your life for you. This is an energy of taking your power back. It's like you've been trapped in a while in an energy of receiving less. Ooh, okay. Sorry, hang on. I'm getting sidetracked. Approval. Choose to approve of yourself and others will too. And then it says celebration. Take time out to celebrate. And then I've seen this career transition card around, but it hasn't been necessarily like, it hasn't come out yet. So I don't know if this could be a career transition for you, but I feel like a big part of why it hasn't come out yet is because I don't think that that's necessarily the message for everybody, but definitely for some people. So it's almost like, you've been in an energy of not having the things that you deserve and desire for a while. And I feel like, again, there's a lot of frustration around it. But it's almost like this frustration has pushed you into making changes, or is pushing you into making changes. And to almost like give yourself the approval to receive more. Like almost like you are the deciding factor here. Like you get to decide whether you accept less or whether you go after more. Like you have more power than you think, right? And I think that that's where a lot of people get confused, is when they think power, they think control. If I have power, that means I have power and control over other people, or over, how somebody sees me or how somebody treats me. And we don't have power over that. But we do have power over whether or not we accept that, or we look for other ways forward and other things that align further with our worth. And I feel like that's what this is doing. And it's almost like awakening to your power in some way, to realize that you are capable of creating more for yourself. But this period that you're in is about, like, I feel like you're learning a lot, growing a lot, healing, evolving, like things of that nature, which is pulling you further away from the things that don't align with your worth and value and aligning you more with the things that do. And I think that as you are moving forward, you're going to find that more and more of what's meant for you is going to find its way to your life. Because with the celebration card, I feel like you do have a lot to celebrate in this future energy in terms of like where you're headed. In fact, I kind of want to take that card. Take this card here. I feel like this is an important aspect to this reading. All right. Overall theme of this reading for Aquarius. It drives me crazy because these cards don't lay flat. They're a little bit thicker, so they're more like plasticky, I guess is a good way of saying that. And I feel like you can really tell in the video. So hopefully that doesn't drive too many people crazy. All right, overall theme of the reading for Aquarius. The answers you need are coming. And then believe in the impossible. So there's some sort of a way forward that takes you to desired outcomes that I feel like you have written off as impossible in some way. And that has led you to staying in places that don't align with your worth because you feel like the things that you deserve and desire aren't possible. Now, maybe because you've experienced proof of that in your life, right? Like, failure or setbacks or challenges or heartbreak or loss that has made you believe that the things that you want can't happen. And that is completely normal and natural. When we go through a lot in our life, it's going to be normal for us to start to accept or believe that we're never gonna get to where we want to go. So we settle because we are like, well, I might as well have something rather than nothing, right? So I'll accept this relationship that doesn't really align with my worth or what I truly desire because I don't really want to be alone. And I'll accept this job that doesn't align with my worth or what I desire because gotta have money to pay the bills, things like that. When in reality, it's almost like there's so much more that's available to you. And I almost feel like you're awakening to that truth. And that's going to lead you to new opportunities that get you to these things. So let's look at this in a deeper way. Let's start, Aquarius, with this recent past boundaries with mirror. It's almost like you've learned all there is to learn from the place that you're in, and it's time to level up. It's like time to level up your life in some way. You're leveling up. I feel like you experience, that is way too many cards. Clear, concise messages, please. You experience some sort of a failure, a feeling of failure in the past when it comes to something, when it comes to maybe the relationship that you desire or the job that you desire, or maybe just like a path in general. And I feel like that's pushed you into this energy of feeling like you have to settle. Like maybe love is just not meant for me, or maybe I'm just not meant to be successful in this career or on this path. And it's almost like there was a period of time where maybe you weren't ready for something, but then because of the failure, the obstacle, the challenge, whatever it was, it feels like you've learned a lot. And so now you're ready for the next thing, for whatever aligns with where you're headed. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Ace of Wands. Is there anything else about this? Because the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is all about blessing in disguise. Gosh, these are in reverse too. Six of Pentacles in reverse. And the Queen of Pentacles in reverse is kind of this feeling of lacking security, like things not going according to plan and feeling really unsure about what's next and where you're headed. And that's completely natural. When things don't work out like we plan, I think it's really, really common to kind of recoil into, I don't know why I used the word recoil. That was interesting. But to go to whatever feels safest, right? Even if these things don't align with what we deserve and desire. So you try to start a business, you fail at that business, you go back to the 9-to-5 job that you hate, like that kind of thing. It doesn't mean that you're not meant to find success in the business, though. It just means that there were things that you needed to learn in order to move you forward in some way. But I feel like that's the whole thing. Is there one more here? I don't know why I'm pulling so many cards for this. I just feel like I'm really interested. 5 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles in reverse. When we are on the path to the things that we deserve and desire, we naturally face the resistance that we have within, the beliefs that we can't get there, that we're not enough, that it's not for us. And we experience those things in real life situations, in moments of feelings of failure, and moments where it feels like we're not, we're never going to get to the things that we deserve and desire. And those moments aren't meant to break you or trip you up or get you to quit or give up or whatever, or to hold you back. But they're opportunities for you to face your real life, to face your fears and insecurities and self-doubt, in real life form, in real life circumstances. And how you face those kind of depends on where you end up. And I think that it's so easy to believe our fear. especially when we have a lot of reasons to expect the things that we fear because we've been through a lot, right? But I think that that's where this mirror card is really important, is the things that have happened, the failures, the obstacles, the challenges, they're not a reflection of what you're capable of or what you're worth or what your value is. They're a reflection of the things that are still needing to be healed, the ways in which you're needing to grow, the things in which, the ways in which you believe that you're unworthy and incapable and not good enough. But we have to be willing to kind of see things that way. Current energy here for Aquarius. Yes, you have this opportunity to pursue some sort of dream, to achieve the things that you deserve. It's like you're ready now. You're ready now for that next step. You've done a lot of healing. Because, Three of Swords in reverse. You've been in this period of healing. It's like you've created this foundation within you. You have more confidence. You have more knowledge. I feel like knowledge is a big thing. Like, you've learned a lot through this. And it's like now you have the knowledge that you needed in order to pursue something. And like, I think that that's one of the things that I've really learned about our journey, is that failure is never a destination. Loss is never a destination. It's always an indication that we're in the middle of a journey. But a lot of people view it as a destination, right? So they give up on their path, or they give up on their dreams, or they give up on what they want or what's possible for them when they hit some sort of like obstacle and challenge and setback, not because they're weak or because they don't have the confidence or they're not strong enough, okay? Because a lot of things can be really damaging and really difficult to rebuild from. And sometimes it's scary to think about putting yourself in that vulnerable position of opening yourself up to the potential of failure again. So we hold ourselves back because it's easier and it feels safer, even though our soul is calling us toward more. And I feel like that's one of the things that you can't really shake, is I feel like you're really called, like the universe put a dream in your heart for a reason. And you're really called toward this. And it's like, that's because this is your path. This is what's meant for you. But I feel like there's a lot of doubt around it, maybe because of failures in the past or things that haven't worked out in the past. So it's almost like parting ways from what you've been settling for to go after what you've been settling for because you thought you had to, because of the things that happened, to take, steps into what is possible for you. What does Aquarius need to know moving forward? Yeah, because believe in the impossible. It's like you've started writing off some of these dreams or goals that you have as impossible. And they're not impossible. They feel impossible and it seems impossible. But it's not impossible for you. Not at all. What does Aquarius need to know moving forward? The Ten of Cups. This is like deep emotional fulfillment. The Ten of Cups and the Knight of Wands with the Magician. But then you have this Ten of Swords. It's like the Ten of Swords has led you here. So I said it. I said there is a lot to celebrate. Where you're like, there's a lot, you have to celebrate a lot of things in this future energy. But it requires you to open up to the path of getting to where you want to go, instead of just, accepting less than what is possible for you because you believe you believe your story's over, your journey's over, or this is just what you're meant to do or meant to experience, like less, like where you're settling. And I feel like this is the universe, your spiritual team trying to wake you up into, no. This all happened to prepare you to get, so you can grow, heal, evolve, expand in the ways that you need to. I always, I can kind of relate to this in some way. I have always had a dream of being a spiritual coach and, doing speaking gigs and having a business that is solely dedicated to getting to share, my truths and my experience to help other people on their journey. And when I first started my spiritual journey, I had a strong pull to this. So I actually started a business, and that business ended up not working out. and it sent my life into a pretty aggressive downward spiral. And I was very angry at the universe because I felt like the universe had opened me up to this opportunity just to take it away. But through this period of my life, which I now understand was kind of like a dark night of the soul period, I grew more than I ever could have imagined. I learned so much about myself, about how the world works, about the universe, about challenges, about, trauma. Like, I learned so much during this period that it was almost like when I came out of this period of my life, I was better equipped to be able to do the things that I want to do than I was before that period. So when I started my business again, which was something that I was really, really scared to do, it was successful. It's been very successful for me, and it's opened a lot of doors for me. And I look back and I realized that things didn't work out, not because it wasn't the right path for me, but because I had a journey to go on to get to a place where I was ready. And then that's just kind of life. And then you go on another journey to get ready for the next step, and then another journey for the next step. And we heal, we grow and evolve, and we take steps forward, based on that. So I feel like it's kind of similar, maybe not exactly like that, but, we don't go through heartbreak for the universe to punish us and show us that, what we could have just to take it away. We go through obstacles and challenges, and we experience things not going the way that we expected in our life because it's an opportunity to heal, to grow, to expand, to evolve in some way to prepare us for the things that we deserve and desire. But only if we face it in that way. If we look at failures, obstacles, challenges, heartbreak as a destination, then that's going to be our destination. We're going to think that that's where we're going to stay for forever. But when we have the willingness to look for the purpose behind it and to say, this is teaching me something, this is helping me in some way become the person that I need to be for the things that I desire, and we're willing to embrace that for what it is, which isn't always easy, then we find a way forward that maybe we never would have seen before. We become almost like ready for that next thing. And I feel like that's what this period of your life is about. And there's opportunities that you're being prepared for that are going to take you to places that maybe you don't believe that you can go because of how things have unfolded in the past. At least that's what I see here. All right, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into this reading, looking at, just the deeper messages, getting a little bit more clarification, and then answering the question, what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. And then I have an advice card to pull at the very end. Thank you so much, Aquarius, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Aquarius.